Emma Smith-Hart, good evening. A BBC Wales investigation has found that drug gangs are using social media to access and groom children. Posing as a 15-year-old girl on Snapchat, our reporter was offered drugs within minutes of setting up her fake account. Despite never searching for drugs or criminality, the app's suggested friends included people claiming to be drug dealers. Charanpreet Kaur reports.
Social media is a huge part of our lives, but it has a hidden dark side.
I could have ended up dead. I really didn't have anyone to turn to at that point. I couldn't even turn to my own family.
Anna, not her real name, was just a teenager when her life was taken over by an Eastern European drugs gang. She got sucked into that world after a friend request on Snapchat from a young man she'd met on a night out.
I'd given him my social media, and then he'd be quite romantic, quite flirty, and just shown a massive interest in me.
How often were you getting these messages from him?
We'd message 24/7.
The constant messaging made Anna think she was getting into a relationship, but he had other ideas, and soon he was forcing her into drug dealing. I want to understand how easy it is for gangs to access children like Anna. I've decided to go undercover on Snapchat, posing as a 15-year-old girl I'm calling Mia. My fake account has been up and running for 2 weeks now. I've not gone looking for drugs with this account. I've just been following pages that I think a real teenager might be interested in. Soon after I set it up, Snapchat starts suggesting people that I might want to become friends with. Some of those people appear to be drug dealers. Remember, this app thinks I'm a 15-year-old girl, and yet it's encouraging me to befriend potential criminals. That's why the police are trying to crack down on those drug gangs. In Swansea, covert officers are on their way to shut down a drugs line in a joint operation by the Met and South Wales Police. Inside, a man suspected of running a line which supplies crack and heroin. They find thousands of pounds concealed in his kitchen units and a mobile phone. They also raid a suspected accomplice's house and retrieve what look like drugs that have been flushed down the toilet.
It's a decent amount of heroin by the looks of it. Yeah.
The suspect in this case was an adult, but often the police find children when they carry out these raids.
That may be children who are holding drugs on behalf of adult drug dealers. They may not understand that they've been groomed to an extent, but we will look for those factors and those indicators, and we will treat exploited children as victims, and we will not treat them as criminals.
For Anna, that exploitation went on for years, and one night she was duped into going to a house where members of the gang were waiting to abuse her.
They held me against my will, and I was sexually assaulted by more than one person, and they wouldn't allow me to go home.
Anna's story shows the grim reality of what children can face when they're groomed online.
This form of exploitation is child abuse, and social media companies need to be held to account far more strongly than they are currently. You know, there needs to be more checks and balances, there needs to be punishment.
Snapchat says there's no place on its platform for exploitation or the illegal buying and selling of drugs, and that it's working to protect younger users from people they don't know. The UK government is introducing new laws to keep children safe online, but as social media continues to evolve, it'll be a challenge for those enforcing those laws to keep up.
And Charanpreet's with me now. Anna's story is powerful. How widespread is this problem?
Well, Rebecca, the police raid that you saw in my report there, that was part of an operation that happened just a few weeks ago. During that operation, the police shut down 19 drugs lines across South Wales, and they found 25 vulnerable children or adults who they then referred to safeguarding services. Now, many of those children will be groomed and abused just like Anna. The problem for the police is that as soon as they shut down one of these lines, the gang networks are so extensive, another one pops up.
And how is Anna now?
Well, Anna's an incredible young woman. She's doing really well. She managed to escape from that gang's clutches and she's managed to rebuild her life. She's now got a job that allows her to help other people in her community.
Sharon Preet, thank you. And for more on this story, you can watch BBC Wales Investigates Snap Trap. Is Your Child Safe? Tonight at 8 o'clock here on BBC One Wales and also on iPlayer. And if you've been affected by any of the issues raised here, support is available on the BBC Action Line website.